Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Monday morning here, Monday afternoon. And I am very excited to do an album review. Now, this is a new album in the sense that it came out this year, but it's been around now for a little over a month, I would say. And that album, as you can tell by the thumbnail, is Till the Morning by Brian D'Addario, D'Addario from the Lemon Twigs. Uh, Brian is the older of the two brothers, Michael being his younger brother and counterpart in the Lemon Twigs. If you know anything about my channel, you know that I push these guys to no end. I absolutely love them. I'm always trying to support them when I can. I've seen them once in concert almost a year ago, last May 5th. It was a life-changing concert in the sense that it was the first concert that I went to with my fiance. She was not my fiance at the time, but also just how it made me excited for live music in a way that I hadn't been in a long time. And I never stopped not loving live music, but seeing the Lemon Twigs last May was just something that I will never forget. The energy, the harmonies, the guitar chords, it was just all so great. And this is the latest in the line of Lemon Twig related releases. Now, again, if you don't know anything about them, they're obviously very much a throwback kind of style. They seek influences with Brian Wilson, T-Rex, Todd Rundgren, the Beatles, some Monkees, and then there's also a lot of like classical and jazzy kind of influences with Brian's guitar playing especially, and that's all over this album is the classical guitar playing of Brian, and just how you can tell that he's really working on that as a craft. We've heard that before. There's Brian right there looking very 1970s. This is just one of those albums that I can already tell is going to be near the top of my list for favorite albums of 2025. Last year's release from the Lemon Twigs, A Dream Is All We Know, was my number one album of that year. It's already risen up into the ranks into my favorite albums ever. And I remember watching, I think it was a live at KEXP from Seattle. I think it was a KEXP session on YouTube where Michael and Brian and the Lemon Twigs were playing, and they had mentioned, was there any new music coming? And they talked about Till the Morning. And they didn't mention it by name, but they said Brian has this album that it has this, like, I think he kind of referred to it as like psychedelic country, which there is some of that in a sense on here, and I'll get to that in a second. But what's so cool about this is first, it's the debut release on Headstock Records. Now, Headstock is the independent label now operated by the D'Addario brothers, and you can see on the vinyl here a better look, but there's like a cool little like caricature of the two brothers, and it was just really, really cool that this was announced. Michael produced a lot of this. I think he co-produced with Brian. There's some goodies that came with this as well, if you're into that sort of thing. First of all, the inner sleeve was really cool. Very much reminded me of like George Harrison, All Things Must Pass, that kind of look, with the track listing there. It's just standard kind of paper. But it's just, really, really cool that, Brian was okay with letting Michael play such a big part in this, and it wasn't like, I'm breaking away from the Lemon Twigs. It was Brian and Michael going to the studio, doing work on this as a team. And before I get into the actual music, I'll just show you all of the goodies there. It did come with a download, which I may download at some point, so I'm covering that up. And then it came with this really cool vertical poster of Brian there, looking very, contemplative on his lute guitar. All right, so the music on this, from what I understand, a lot of these were, like a lot of kind of first solo albums, a lot of these songs were already written, and Brian, had these songs laying around. A few of them were co-written with his brother. Again, Michael plays on this. He sings harmony on most, but at least half the tracks. Uh, Brian's playing a ton of instruments, as they do. And they had this stuff laying around that doesn't make it onto Lemon Twigs albums. They didn't know, is it too is it too ballady for this record? Is it too country for this record? That kind of thing. And so they were all kind of put onto this album, and I'm sure that there are some newer tracks on here as well that weren't just old old tunes, but my recommendation for this to get started, I mean, the first single was the title track, Till the Morning, which has this very cool, like, Baroque kind of instrumental at the beginning on the piano. Just kind of this very, I don't even know what you would describe it as, kind of just like that folk rock kind of feel from the late 60s, early 70s. That sounds so good. And my favorite track on this at the moment is the song Nothing on My Mind, which sounds like it could have been a Michael Nesmith tune while Nesmith was still with the Monkees. It kind of has this very, what am I doing hanging around kind of vibe to it, which, don't jump on me, I know that was written by Michael Martin Murphey, but Nesmith sang it, and it's got this very, like, upbeat tune. It's just 2 minutes. It reminds me of a country Monkees song, Nothing on My Mind. It's just really, really good. So check out Nothing on My Mind. Check out the title track. The song Company is also very good on side two. Now, the difference between this, I mean, other than it being a solo record, between this and this is that this album was written as kind of a jangle pop rock record. I mean, this is very melodic, very hook driven, that sort of thing. Whereas Till the Morning kind of falls more in line with the Lemon Twigs release from a couple of years ago, Everything Harmony, which is a little bit more mellow. It's got a lot more ballads on it. It opens with the track When Winter Comes Around, which is still probably my favorite Lemon Twigs song. Just a beautiful kind of solo classical piece by Brian. And he kind of takes what he was doing on that song, and that is kind of all over this record as well. Song for Everyone, Spirit Without a Home, the last track. Just a lot of, kind of contemplative, more mature kind of tunes. And again, he's really honing in on his guitar playing on this as well. But again, you do have the songs that are fun, like again, Till the Morning, Nothing on My Mind. Just This Summer is kind of that kind of vibe as well. Daryl Johns, famous drummer, he is on a few tracks on this record as well. But again, it's got kind of some pedal steel guitar on a few tracks, a la the Michael Nesmith First National Band records with O.J. Red Rhodes. It has kind of some Telecaster-y kind of guitar licks on a couple of tracks. Again, very kind of Clarence White, from the Byrds kind of feel to it. But again, it's a more mellow record than A Dream Is All We Have. Excuse me, A Dream Is All We Know. And it's a record that I've listened to now 3 times. I'm liking it more and more. I'm hearing something new in it every time. I also purchased the CD. That's down in my car, so I've kind of got it everywhere. Just listened to it before the video. So, yeah, this is the physical release that came out about a month after the actual album. So I've had this for about a week now. I've had time to again give it a few spins and to let you know what I think. So Lemon Twigs fans out there, you're gonna like it. It's nothing. It's not Brian doing a reggae album, completely ditching that style. It's all intents and purposes, half a Lemon Twigs album, half Brian tunes that couldn't make it to other records. But props to Brian for breaking out on his own with doing this. And we look forward to whatever Brian has next, Michael, the Lemon Twigs, I know they're going on tour together this summer. So see him if you can. I'll be curious to know if Brian does any tunes from this, because again, Michael is singing and playing on this record as well. So that's about it, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please subscribe. I've really appreciated the few subscribers that I picked up in the last few days. And let me know if you've picked up this record. Let me know if you knew about this record. Again, if you like that harmony, 60s, 70s kind of sunshiny pop stuff, with some other, elements in there as well, I'm pretty sure you're going to like this kind of stuff. So that's all I got. In the meantime, y'all be good. Take care. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.